A very good morning to one another. Today we will be studying about wave motion. I hope all of you are very much familiar with waves produced on the surface of water. So again we know that sound and light energy are transmitted from one place to another in the form of waves. So wave motion is some means by which the energy is transferred from one place to another without actual bodily movement of the particles. So in wave motion, what travels forward in the medium is a state of motion which is passed from one particle to the next as the wave advances. Since during the propagation of the wave, the particles of the medium lying in its path are thrown into vibrations in succession, the waves pass on energy from one particle to next along their line of travel. So, uh, some wave motions do not require any mechanical medium. For example, electromagnetic waves. In case of electromagnetic waves, there doesn't need any medium. For example, light wave and radio waves. Whereas in case of mechanical wave motion, for example, sound waves, a medium is required. This medium can be either it can be a solid or it can be a liquid or it can be a gaseous medium. Only in case of wave, we do not require any medium or light can easily travel through vacuum. So before going into the details, let us define what is wave motion. A wave motion is defined as a disturbance that travels from onwards to a medium due to repeated periodic motion of its particles above their mean or equilibrium position. So you can call it as a disturbance which is traveling in a periodic fashion from one particle to another above their mean or equilibrium position. So each particle repeats the movement of its predecessor a little later than it, and this movement is handed to its successor. That means there exists a definite phase relationship between the particles of the medium. So let us see some fundamental keywords associated with wave motion. One is wavefront. So what is wavefront is nothing but a plane or a surface on which all the particles are in identical state of motion at a given instance. So basically there are two types of wavefronts, spherical and plane wavefront. So spherical wavefront is produced by point sources and plane wavefront. Uh, as an example of a plane wavefront, you can consider the motion of particles in a stretched string, then the wavefront produced will be a plane wavefront. So now again we will see the definition of wavelength, frequency and velocity. So there is wavelength and frequency are inversely related. So wavelength is defined as the distance between two nearest crust or trough, or you can call it as one crust and one trough constitutes one wavelength in case of transverse waves. And when the frequency is high, wavelength will be less, and when the frequency is low, then the wavelength will be high. And wavelength and frequency are related to velocity of the waves by velocity is equal to frequency times wavelength, and frequency is usually expressed in terms of hertz, and wavelength, since it is a length, it is expressed in terms of meter. Now let us see what is meant by a plane progressive wave. So you can define a plane progressive wave as a wave motion which progress onwards through a medium with energy transfer across every section of it. And the opposite of plane progressive wave is nothing but a standing wave. Usually plane progressive waves can be considered as of two types. One is longitudinal and the other one is transverse. So in longitudinal waves, the particles of the medium vibrates in a direction parallel to the direction of propagation of the wave. So in case of longitudinal waves, compressions and rarefactions are created, and you can call a transverse wave as one in which the particles of the medium vibrates in a direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. So here crusts and troughs are created. Now we can express the plane progressive wave with the help of mathematical equations. So for that, let us consider a wave starting at origin O and at a later time P. At a later instant of time P, let the particle travel a distance x. Then obviously the phase change of the particle compared to the particle at the origin is nothing but phi is equal to 2 pi x by lambda, because when the wave travels one wavelength or one completes one wavelength, the phase change is 2 pi. Therefore, when it travels a distance x, obviously the phase change will be 2 pi by lambda into x. Or you can say phase change is 2 pi by lambda into the distance traveled. And you can see that the displacement is not constant, it is varying sinusoidally. So obviously you can express the displacement in terms of a sinusoidal function. So either you can express it in terms of sine or cosine. So we have used sine function. So here the displacement at the point P is expressed as y equal to a sine omega t minus phi. Here phi is nothing but 2 pi x by lambda and omega is nothing but 2 pi by t or 2 pi into v by lambda. So substituting for that, we will get y equal to a sine omega t minus 2 pi x by lambda, but we know that 2 pi by lambda is nothing but k, the propagation constant. Therefore, y equal to a sine 2 pi into v by lambda into t minus 2 pi x by lambda. So taking 2 pi by lambda outside, we will get y equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda into vt minus x for a wave which is propagating in the positive direction or a wave which is moving towards right. And if the wave is traveling towards left, then you can express the wave as y equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda into vt plus x. Here a stands for the amplitude and v is the velocity, x is the distance travelled by the wave, lambda the wavelength. So we now see a problem. Find the amplitude, frequency, wavelength and velocity of waves in a stretched string represented by y equal to 5 sine 2 pi into t minus 0.04x in SI unit. So for solving this problem, we have to compare this displacement with a general displacement equation. So the general equation of a wave is nothing but y equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda into vt minus x. But here you can see that only 2 pi is outside. So we have to write the equation in such a way that only the lambda has to come inside. So you have to keep lambda inside. So y can be written as a sine 2 pi into v by lambda, that is nothing but f t minus x by lambda. So now you have to compare this general equation with the equation given. From that you can see that a is nothing but 5, f is equal to, because t associated with the t, the coefficient is nothing but 1, therefore f is equal to 1 per second, and lambda can be seen as 1 by lambda is nothing but 0.04, therefore lambda is equal to 1 by 0.04, that is nothing but 25 meter, and v is f into lambda, so that gives you 25 meter per second. Hope you understood. Thank you.